in top 8. This should be pretty interesting. Unfortunately, I haven't been keeping too hard a track on the beginning of the tournament, but I hope that we will be able to commentate good like.
Yeah, and this might be a pretty interesting match right here. We are getting Nikita versus Null. Now, Null actually pulling an upset against Kells earlier in the bracket today. Managing to secure that victory 2-1 over Kells.
Yeah, so he's got to be feeling pretty hype coming into this game after that upset.
Yeah, and Nikita actually pulling an upset himself, taking it over a coward in the Robin Ditto.
That is incredible. A coward's been very, very good in our own league, straight out of Smashville, having won about, I think it was 3 tournaments in a row really recently. So definitely good stuff to Nikita, but right now, Null is currently pulling out all the stops, reflecting that L Thunder right back at him and sending him into the blast zone at early percents.
Yeah, quite unfamiliar with this matchup myself.
Yeah, I don't really know exactly what Robin or Min Min really wants from this matchup. I would have to assume Min Min would reflect a lot of Robin's projectiles and just keep Robin generally at bay. And I would have to guess Robin probably relies quite heavily on that Levin sword. Super powerful and a really good close-up tool.
Yeah, that is true. And Robin does rely on those projectiles. However, with Min Min having that range to kind of just counter it, it really makes it difficult for Robin to really set up anything. And
yeah, and like
right there. See right there, like Nikita down 2 stocks against Null right now. But as soon as I say that, takes the first stock off of Null.
That's right, but Null kind of has a lead that he's just gonna stick with, shooting out that strong smash attack in the oh geez, what is that arm called? The big punchy one.
The Megawatt?
Yes, Megawatt. I'm gonna call it the big punchy one, but Megawatt.
Yeah, that Megawatt is extremely powerful. Oh my goodness, that Thoron almost taking that second stock again. Trying to snipe Null with these projectiles right now. But
yeah, quite a reversal of what we were saying before. Suddenly, Kita is starting to rack up some damage just by shooting off projectiles and keeping Null off stage, but just like that, now Null is back on stage and currently keeping Kita off. And that's not really working out for Nikita.
Yeah, that's game 1 going to Null.
That was a surprisingly fast game for Min Min Robin. I wasn't expecting that to go as fast as it did. I would have expected a bit more zoning, a little bit of a slower ranged game, but I guess both of these characters are very good at zoning aggressively.
Yeah, with their zoning tools, especially for Min Min's zoning tools, I believe, can actually beat out some of the projectiles that Robin has.
That's right.
Such as the Arcfire, which is so... Yeah, and the Arcfire is such a bread and butter for Robin, and if it keeps getting beaten out, then Robin doesn't really have much when it comes to getting those setups or really trying to get any damage off.
Yeah, Arcfire is definitely a very potent combo starter for Robin, but when she does get it, as you saw in that second stock of Null's, it can definitely be devastating. But currently other way around. But currently Null is doing a very, very good job of keeping those Arcfires away and just keeping Nikita on his feet.
Yep, that is indeed true. And against Robin, you want that thing, because you know that if Robin is able to set up, you're going to get a lot of damage, and you're likely going to die very early because of that Levin sword.
Absolutely. You don't want Robin to get in on you, especially not as Min Min with that pretty subpar recovery and moves that go out really far. So it is definitely good for Null to keep Robin far away. And as I say that, Megawatt catching the get up from ledge. Nikita down a pretty decent amount right now. No, only at 54% on his first stock.
Yeah, this is looking like a repeat of game 1 right now, where Null just took that early lead and just helps him secure the early victory.
Right.
That Arcfire goes so far, my goodness.
Yeah, that was buffed in a actually quite old patch now that I think about it. It was buffed a good amount. It only used to go down to about as far as where Robin was standing, but now it goes about twice or maybe even 2.5 times the distance, and it actually reaches people much farther away than it used to. Definitely a good change for Robin.
That's actually quite crazy. And right now, Null is just paying so much attention to what Robin throws out. Ooh, that Arcfire ledge trap is so good against opponents when they're stuck on the ledge.
Ooh.
And good timing on the roll.
Yeah, Nikita finally out of Arcfires for now, but still getting that stock off stage. However, at quite a disadvantage, being at 140 on his second stock while off stage.
Yeah, that neutral air is going to take Nikita's second stock, and now he's actually down to his last stock of winner's bracket. And my goodness, that is a ton of damage. Is he dead? No, not. Never mind. Wait. Oh my goodness.
Nikita making it back after that crazy amount of pressure from Null.
And surviving that Megawatt too. Oh my gosh.
I would like to talk for a second about the stage. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Nope. That's a quick 2-0 right there, going into Null's favor, allowing him to secure that spot in top 8 winner's side.
Very, very good stuff to Null. Quite aggressive game from Min, I have to say. I do actually want to touch on the stages. Both times, the stages were quite small with relatively minimal platforms, which kind of led to that incredibly fast pace. There was nowhere for either player to go, so they just kept pressuring each other from off stage or from center stage.
Yeah, that is true. And Min driving on those smaller stages to where she can pressure her opponent very well, has really helped out when going against that Robin, because Robin relies on those larger stages to where she can set up, get those Arcfires, get those Thunders going. But if you take all that room away, then Robin really has no choice but to try to box up. And you know that Robin doesn't really have the best boxing tools.
No, she doesn't. Best she's got is, I guess her Thunders and her sword is slightly long, but there's not a lot of good tools to just keep the opponent at bay quickly. Best she's got is Nair.
Exactly, and even then, even with those powerful aerials, they don't have too much range to where they're much of an issue. Because as long as they're able to weave it out